Hey Sag Rising, welcome to your monthly forecast for February 2025. Keep on watching to find out what is going to be in store for you and how you'll be impacted.
So let's dive straight into it. February the 4th, Venus, the planet of love and relationships, moves into Aries. So it's going to move into your fifth house. Venus loves being in the fifth house. It's just at home and having the time of its life because the fifth house is a fun house. It's about pleasure, joy, the inner child, self-expression, creativity, and also dating and romance. So it loves the fifth house. Like, this is when Venus is the most romantic and flirtatious and just living the best life, okay? Living the dream. Now, the only thing here to be kind of concerned about is as Venus moves into Aries, we're moving into March, right? As the days go by, and then eventually it will move into retrograde cycle. That can stir up some drama regarding relationships, regarding creativity, regarding self-worth and self-expression. So, although you may be really having a good time during the beginning of February with this transit, make note of how you're feeling as time progresses because that might change. Some things may come out, self-doubt or just like a lack of confidence or even just like things coming up with relationships, okay? Even like your creativity, your creative abilities just not being in their full form because this retrograde energy is kind of like creeping up and it's kind of slowing things down and making you kind of like reflect or go over certain things. And that doesn't necessarily have to be like a negative thing because sometimes slowing down and going over things and redoing things can actually be a blessing in disguise because it can help you create something that was better than before, or it can help you see something that you missed out on. So retrogrades are not a bad thing. Like, they're actually beneficial for a lot of different reasons. So it really depends on your chart of how this will impact you. Depends on all the other transits as well. But typically Venus enjoys the fifth house. But when it gets into retrograde motion, that may stir up some issues that you have to kind of navigate through. So the February energy with Venus is really kind of like a preparation and it will slowly build up. Let's move on with Jupiter because that goes direct on the same day as Venus moving into Aries. It will go direct at 11 degrees. Jupiter is in your opposite sign of Gemini, your seventh house of relationships, one-to-one partnerships. So if you had to kind of like go through any type of relationship issues or things came up that you had to work through, because although Jupiter is a beautiful energy, it is larger than life, sometimes it amplifies energies in your life. So if you're already going through some hiccups, it can just kind of like escalate the situation or amplify it. That's something to watch out for. For others, it can bring, and I'm talking about outside of retrograde cycles, with Jupiter in the seventh house, it can bring forth a new person, a new partnership. But when we're looking at the retrograde energy, and if you are in some sort of relationship, it can amplify any type of like issues or make things bigger than they actually are. Like, that's what Jupiter can actually do. Now that it's moving forward, everything that you've learned, everything that you have kind of figured out through this process, it's time to move forward now. And this area of life is also going to be moving forward. So that's a positive. Now let's move on to the North Node and Neptune, because on February the 7th, we have Neptune and the North Node in a conjunction at 28 degrees. Now, this is occurring in your fourth house of home, family. This is your personal life. This is where you go to retreat, where you go to heal, rejuvenate, get yourself together. Now with the fourth house, this is so major for you because you're going to have so much Pisces energy for a while. And the reason why is because as soon as we hit February, we're going to have Venus already in your fourth house. And then we already got Neptune in the North Node and Saturn. And then we're going to have the Sun eventually and Mercury move here as well. And the North Node is going to remain in Pisces until next year, until summer next year. So it's going to be there for a while. So a lot of energy in this area of life. I mean, you've already been going through it with Saturn and Neptune. But with the North Node and Neptune coming together, there's the light and the dark. The positive about this is that it makes you feel just very connected and it gives you a sense of belonging. It really brings a lot of magic into your life, especially regarding home and family, and you may feel very sentimental, very empathetic, and very connected with your loved ones. A great time for spirituality as well. Like the fourth house is not just home and family. If you look at it from a very esoteric point of view, it goes deeper than that. It goes into the ancestry, it goes into like the past lives, it goes into the soul. Like it's the base of the tree of life. So it's so magical, the fourth house. So there could be some spiritual expansion as well with the North Node and Neptune. Another manifestation of the North Node and Neptune coming together is that there could be some illusions, there could be some deceit or confusion. Things are not clear, which leads to issues. You know, clarity is so important. If there's no clarity, there's no certainty. And there can be some fog and mist as well. Like that could also be a manifestation of the North Node and Neptune, especially collectively. So just be mindful of that. Also, there's an abundance of creative energy available where actually you get inspired from home and family dynamics or your personal life. So that could be a positive. Also, you may get into like some sort of spiritual, holistic type of healing. Like I can just like visualize like those that are going through this transit with like being at home and working with their crystals and all the spiritual tools that we abundantly have access to in this world. So that could also be a possibility. Let's take a look at February the 12th because we got a full moon in Leo at 24 degrees. So this full moon will be impacting your 9th house. This is exciting. It's a full moon in a fire sign. So you get it. This is a very exciting time, although the full moon is triggered by Uranus. So there could be some unpredictability or some change that comes your way, but I'm sure you are excited to take on the adventure because you're very exuberant and you love to explore. With the full moon in your 9th house, the sun being in your 3rd house, and the moon being in your 9th house, there could be some change or shift regarding travel, education, beliefs, your philosophies, or spirituality. This is a culmination energy, so if you've been working hard on something or you've been planning something for a while, this could come into fruition, but there may be some unpredictability or some change, so just be cautious and conscious and careful because as a Sag, like I said, you love adventure, and being ruled by Jupiter, sometimes you're always looking at the positive and you have to kind of slow down and look at every single thing, not just the positive. You got to look at the pros and cons, so just be mindful of that. But it's a Leo full moon, so there's a lot of fun involved as well with a little bit of change triggered by Uranus. So look at where 24 degrees of Leo falls in your chart. Moving on. February the 14th, Mercury enters Pisces. February the 18th, the Sun enters Pisces, all moving into your 4th house. So again, emphasizing on home, family life, your personal life, and your sense of belonging. So you can have really deep soul-to-soul, heart-to-heart felt conversations during this time. There could be just a lot of pleasure at home and just feeling really connected at home as well. Like home could be like your spiritual sanctuary during this time, during this month. February the 23rd, we have Mars that goes direct in Cancer at 17 degrees. This will be impacting your 8th house. So any type of issues or shadows or any setbacks or slowing down or reassessing, reanalyzing, restructuring or re-strategizing that you've had to do regarding the themes of the 8th house. What does the 8th house rule over? Shared finances and resources, intimacy, taking a relationship to the next level. This is also deep spiritual healing. This is the psyche. This is where there's a lot of spiritual wisdom and wealth as well. So any of those lessons that you've had to go through, it's time to integrate them, apply them, and move forward now because Mars is going direct. February the 27th, we have a new moon in Pisces at 9 degrees, and this again will be impacting your 4th house. So this could bring forth a new shift, change, a new beginning, a new cycle, a new chapter regarding home and family, regarding even like your spirituality, regarding what makes you feel safe and what makes you feel like you belong in your home or your family or even like your relationship, what you connect with. That's going to be really important. So this could be a new shift and a new change in this area of life, especially if you have any planets close to 9 degrees of Pisces. Okay, so exciting times ahead, although It depends on everyone's chart, like everyone's unique. It's not going to manifest the same for every single person because you have your individual chart and your individual planets and transits, but this is just an overview of what you can expect. February is going to be like a preparation for March because March is the big one. March is where you're going to find just so many changes coming all at once, okay? So take it easy during February. This is time to really take it easy, especially with all that fourth house energy. It's about relaxing and just enjoying the bliss and the tranquility that is available, okay? And really rejuvenating and taking care of mind, body, soul, and spirit because the big one, March, is on its way.
If you enjoyed this video and you want to see your monthly horoscope for March, because March is a major month. There's an eclipse, there's a Venus retrograde, it's the beginning of the astrological new year. There's so many changes occurring. So if you want to see your monthly forecast for March, let me know by giving this video a thumbs up or leaving me a comment. And if you want to go deeper and learn more about your chart and what's in store for you in the next coming year, let me know by checking out my booking website, and I'll see you